Yeah, I mean, 2021 was the most successful motorsport season ever we had in our group. So 21 world titles overall, it's an amazing achievement. So I'm so thankful to all the riders and the teams all around the world for what we have reached. And I mean, coming back to the road racing paddock, it's also unbelievable to win in 1 year a Moto3 World Championship, a Moto2 World Championship. And yeah, we finished 6th in MotoGP. It's maybe not exactly what we were hoping for, or maybe we thought this could be even slightly better. But still, if you look then at the end of the season on paper, 2 titles and a 6th place in MotoGP, it's an amazing achievement for our road race activities and super motivating for everything in the future. Yeah, I mean, that was, it was like a dream come true, because yeah, that first win we could put that to the home GP, but it was before without our fans. So it was a very sad moment to win in Austria without the fans, because that's always, you dream of that scenario that you can win your home GP in the MotoGP class. If we just look back at our first presentation of a MotoGP bike back in 2016 in Spielberg, and then you see all the fans, you see all the orange bleeders, and then you dream that one day you can win a race in front of this crowd. Then we won the race in Austria, no crowd, but then finally we could repeat that with our fans together last year. So this was definitely, I would say, the highlight of our whole racing activity and the project, to take this win there, because you have more friends, more people, more company members on the racetrack, and that was something special, and we will never forget, because it was amazing. It was a curious scenario how it came together. The rider with a very brave decision took the win home, but we celebrated quite well on that day. Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, the racing world, everybody followed quite well how we came in. I will always name the 3.5 seconds in our first race season. We were 3.5 seconds too slow per lap when we started the project in Qatar. And since there we were just climbing up and come closer and closer and closer. And it was an incredible effort from the whole company to come that far. And finally, it's proven that we are a winning team with a winning bike and winning riders. So we have 5 GP wins in our in our pockets, I would say. And also the riders who are with us, I mean, Brad and Miguel, they went with us also through the other categories, and they are our friends. And finally, both of them are GP winners. So that's proven. That were the real highlights. I mean, when you start a project, you want to win one day a race, but to name it and say it, yes, we want to win a MotoGP race, sounds quite simple, but then to do it, it's such an incredible effort from so many people involved, and everybody needs to give so much to achieve that. And then, yeah, we did it. It's proven. It's on paper, but it means nothing. That we had also, we had to learn that the hard way. You win this weekend in that class, but the weekend after you fight to qualify for Q2, because it's just so tight. There is no guarantee. The winner from last week doesn't mean he will be in Q2 next week. So every week on Friday morning you start again the same scenario, because in this category, also our manufacturer colleagues from the other brands, they are pushing so hard. If one sees another guy made a step, everybody goes back home to work and brings another step. So the class never stands still. And that was also the challenging part. I mean, we went into a battle with a big gap, but you can see that the race gets almost a second faster per year, per lap. So we had to catch the old gap, but every day there came a new gap because everybody was moving. So to catch up, we had to make a huge effort, and it's still, I would say we are not fully there. For sure, we have still to do another step, and but I think now we are in a position that we understand the whole scenario much better, and I feel we are really ready to go for it this season. I mean, anyway, already last year losing the concession, this was also another big impact on our whole scenario. We started alone. We brought in the second team with tax-free, but then we lost the concessions. So you lost a lot of testing possibilities. We start to test more on the races. All of that was part of the game and part of the process, which was also a difficult step in the last season. And yeah, now that the development freeze is over for everybody, so we can for sure expect that the development speed is getting even faster from everybody, because yeah, you can come now with completely new engines again, and no limit from development side like we had it now through the COVID period. But that was first of all a great sign from the whole industry, how we were sticking together to protect our racing, which we love so much. And I mean, we went out like the warriors when still the whole world was frozen the year before. In these difficult times, we had a fantastic season last year, but let's hope we are coming back to more normality this year. And yeah, from the bike side, development freeze is not there, so it means the engineer, they are all going flat out, and for sure we can expect maybe a little bit more even changes going into the season this year, because nobody knows what the other manufacturers did. But we know everybody was pushing, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, we know Francesco very well from many years ago when he worked already for our 125 and 250 program in the two-stroke days. Since there, we never stopped to have contact, and yeah, he was always interested, at least in our off-road success, and followed us quite closely. So yeah, I'm really happy to have him back. We don't need to explain him the company, and he knows our philosophy, and I think there was also a big reason why he came back to be part of the KTM family and go racing together with us. And I mean, it's not the management change itself what makes me happy. It's like, no, I'm happy that Francesco is back, but also we had still to restructure a bit our whole organization, because we came like jump into the cold water and we had to swim as hard as we could and develop new parts for the next test or for the next race. We had to ignore the calendar. Every time we had something ready, we had to bring it. But I think now it's the time to really slow down a little bit, at least the development program on the racetrack. And that's why we changed our organization to say the bike responsibility for development and testing is definitely at home with the home base and the test team. And the race team goes just racing. So that's why also Francesco comes in a complete different role than my good friend Mike was, because yeah, he can manage now the team from a sporting side, take care of the rider and make sure the riders have everything what they need on the race weekend to perform with the package we have. But we will stop now to bring new parts to the racetrack, and this we did until the last race of last season. Especially now this hurdle that we lost concessions, we had to do it again on the race, but this is over, so we are on a different program now. We are working with more responsibility at home, and we bring finalized bikes and parts to the racetrack in a certain dose. So yeah, but very nice to have Francesco back. I mean, if you listen to us over years, it's very important, because we consider them almost like our children. We grow up with them. We went through really good days and bad days, and all the three categories in the meantime, starting already in the Red Bull Rookies Cup, and we did Moto3 together, we did Moto2 together. With both guys, I think we could prove, also a kind of a dream, that this whole process from going to the Rookies Cup, maybe also through the hands of Aki, who is our Aki Ayo, our strong partner on Moto3 and Moto2, to develop riders and get them ready for MotoGP. And we went through that program together, and now they are here with us. But in the meantime, yeah, they are experienced MotoGP riders. We decided for them as rookies. And then I remember we got blamed for letting other riders go, didn't buy other superstars there. no, we stick to them. And when we decided to go for them, yeah, they were still quite young in the class, and a little bit later, both of them were GP winners. So, yeah, it was important. I mean, the guys who brought the first wins to the RC16 and to us, they are still with us. And MotoGP is also a lot based on experience, and you need to become one: the team, the bike, the rider. And I think it's very important to make also the next small steps together. We said it before, we won already, so we know it's possible. So now it's time to stabilize this whole thing, and I feel very comfortable that we can do this with these two riders, which we know so well. They know us so well, and yeah, it was very important to keep them with us. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole scenario. I mean, we had a long-term vision with the Red Bull Rookies Cup, looking up to MotoGP, but it's a long way. And then you have young guys, and you start with them, and they develop and they develop. But then you need also the right partners. We have a very great schooling for the boys in the Red Bull Rookies Cup. They teach them already for behavior, for marketing, for PR stuff, but of course for racing, for safety, security, everything. So we get already into Moto3 riders. They are already, I mean, they are not ready because they are super young. They are little kids. But then to guide them further, in our case, I mean, we have for sure in the meantime we found over the years, also beside Aki, many great team managers in Moto3 where we can work together with them and position in the meantime out of the Rookies Cup. I think, if I'm correct, already 68 riders all over the different places. But then the ones we consider the best ones, they are in our MotoGP Academy, where we trust in Moto3, Aki Ayo and Hervé Poncheral with their two efforts. From there it goes slimmer again in Moto2, where we have Aki again taking care of them in the Moto2 category and trying to prepare them really to be ready for MotoGP. And then once you come there, it's still something amazing. I mean, again, looking to Remy and Raúl again, it's always so nice to see this, to get this first impression when they jump from a Moto2 bike on a MotoGP bike. What happened in Jerez at the test after the season? For them, it's like, wow, it's just amazing what kind of power a MotoGP bike has, and the brake force and how good it can still turn. So that next step is still crazy. But yeah, I would say the project was in place before, but then you have to fill it with life, with riders, with young riders. And I would say now we reached something like a real strong basement and target, because now we brought these two riders from Moto2, from this own project into MotoGP. Now we have 4 riders there coming out of that. So 4 riders we have chosen before, and we decided for them, and they decided to be with us, and so we can go together and to bring this young and fresh blood also into our MotoGP project. I think is a very good mix for the future. You have 2 GP winners, but you have 2 very hungry guys, and one of the 4 will always put the level a little bit higher. And then I think it's also easy to get lost in that category where you have so many possibilities on the technical side. But if one of the 4 can show something, you can immediately look over what happened there in the setup and lift up the others. So I feel the riders lineup will also put us on another level in this season. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to say. I mean, where's the real target? I mean, our long-term vision is to become MotoGP World Champion. That's clear. And but it's so hard to be in top 5 in that championship. So it's still the target for us to be there consistent every weekend, that we have a guy there in the top 5 and fight for the podium in the end of the season standings. That must be the target for this season. But I know this is a very high one, because there is other manufacturers with an ambitious target as well. But yeah, I feel ready now. We have the team, we have the base, we have the bike. We have the riders. I mean, the key and the star to the success is the rider at the end. And it's up to us to keep them happy and confident. And if they're confident, they're going to be up there. So target moved slightly. We were never talking about, okay, this year we can win, or this year we can climb on the podium regularly. But I feel we are coming closer to that point that we should say the target must be regularly in top 5. That's clear. Yeah, I mean, that's something we learned in the off-road side. If you look back, everybody was wondering when we took Claudio Riccardi and his whole crew to become a motocross factory team, because there was already a KTM motocross factory team. But if you combine, if you can have an external partner with strengths like we have it with Hervé, this experience of more than 30 years in this paddock, and contact to any rider in this paddock, and be there, having a strong team from the technical side, you just combine strong things. And then for us, it's not, we are not looking for a customer in this paddock to sell some bikes and let them race. This will not bring us forward. If we can bring it together, that we don't have a factory team and a satellite team, then we have, our target is to have 4 factory riders, and then see who is performing where the best. And if this is on one side or the other side, should even not make a big difference in the future. That's why we also brought some factory personnel into Hervé's team to demonstrate for the riders there will be the same support in the background. And still we have to see, because sometimes the rider will just feel better in that corner, or maybe he will fall in love with his crew chief and he just wants to stay there or here or move over. So this gives us just more possibility on the management with the 4 riders. We don't need to commit to 2 and stick with them forever. So we have the chance to give young riders a platform which we can also influence directly, compare the bikes, compare the setting, and we are still fighting all together to get better. And I feel to have a partnership like the one with Hervé just makes us stronger than running alone. We are a stronger team, and the beginning was difficult for everybody to find together, but if you see now how we work in the factory together, our mechanics, Hervé's mechanics, it's just one big group, one big family, and that's also very exciting to watch this whole scenario, that it's just a very big and very strong team. All riders healthy at the last round, and then I'm sure we're going to have an incredibly successful year.